Well, hello. Welcome back to F3. As you know, we were looking at our chapter 2 financial statement before we went on to finishing the topic last time. And here are the answers to the questions I promised earlier. Now, question 1, the answer is D, which I presume you're correct as well. Question 2, the answer is C. Question 3, the answer is B. Now, if you have any confusions as to how I achieved these answers, or do you want some explanations on this, please do not hesitate to contact me. Moving on to chapter 3, that's called double entry bookkeeping. This is the first important major chapter in your F3 studies. Now, this actually deals with the double entry, and it explains to you what a double entry really is. So I'm going to just move on and see how we're going to be doing things instead of just looking at our introductions and stuff like that, right? Now, okay, let me just zoom it up and okay, perfect. Now, double entry bookkeeping refers to recording of the monetary transaction within a financial accounting system. Now, double entry is just double entry. You record the data or whatever thing you do in the business. And it's just a form of recording everything that you do in a business. Simple as that. I mean, I don't even know how to explain to you what a double entry is, but let's say for the sake of argument that you buy a phone. Let's say you buy an iPhone. Now, when you buy an iPhone, what do? You debit your, let's say it's your asset. You're going to use it for a very long time. Your iPhone, you're going to use it for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years if you're lucky it works. But 3 years is the normal time period given by Apple itself, and which I think it's safe to say that iPhones last for 5 years at least. So it's your non-current assets. You're going to debit your non-current assets, and you're going to credit your bank, of course. So that's a double entry of recording a phone that you bought in your accounts. Now, there are ledger accounts for literally everything. Now, the double entry system says that we will prepare a ledger account. Now, this is what a ledger account looks like. In previous times, this thing used to be called T account because it's a T. Now, you see, this is a T. Yeah, it's T account. When I was studying for it, now, some people used to come and say, hey, did you make the T account for this calculation? And I'm like, what's a T account, mate? I'm not kidding with you. One of my teachers, when I was taking F3, I went there and he told me, he came to my desk and he asked me, hey, did you prepare the T accounts when you were calculating this example? And I said, sorry, sir, no. He said, how did you come up with these examples? How did you come up with the solution? I said, sir, I prepared the ledgers. And they laughed a lot. So it's actually the same thing. So, just saving you the embarrassment. You do a different ledger account for assets, for liabilities, for income, for expense, right? For equity, for the matter of fact. There's a debit side, there's a credit side. Now the left-hand side is always called the debit side. The right-hand side is always called the credit side. Now, ledger account can be anything. You don't have to write date, narrative, dollars, date, narrative, dollars. You don't have to write that. It's just a beginner's thing that you just write it down. For the sake of argument, it's just there, just for you to write the date, what's it for, and what's the amount, and then you do the credit as well. You don't necessarily have to do it. But it's good if you do, but in the exam you don't have enough time. If you start writing the dates and the amounts and the narratives and stuff like that, you're doomed, dude. You get 2 minutes to do a question top. You're not going to waste it on writing T accounts and all. I mean, you will prepare a T account, but what you will do, you'll just prepare a T account and you'll just write the amount. Simple. You know what you're doing. So that's the reason. At first you'll be like, I don't think I can do that. You're saying it because you're a teacher. No. I'm saying it because you need to practice. You practice yourself so much that the first time you see a ledger account or a call question that requires you to prepare a ledger, you do not have second thoughts of it. Right? Then moving on to the principle of ledger accounts are as follows. Now, this is the thing, debit and credit. If you want to increase something, you debit it. If you want to reduce something, you credit it. Is that true? No. It depends. I'm sorry, it depends. It depends on what? Now let's see. If you debit the expenses, it will go up. Why? That's a rule of accounting. Don't ask me why. It's just a rule. Remember the rule. This is one of the most important things ever. Debit to increase, credit to reduce. Let's talk about assets. What do you do when you want to increase the asset? Do you debit it or you credit it? You debit it. It increases. In other terms, I always say, what's the nature of assets? It's debit, because you have to increase it by debiting it, right? Right? Same thing for drawings. Drawings is also considered like expenses, so you have to debit it to increase it. On the other hand, liabilities, you need to credit them to increase them, debit them to reduce them. Income, the same thing happens. You have to increase them by crediting it. And finally, you have capital. You have to credit your capitals to increase it. Are we good? Yeah. Okay. Now this is very good. This is a very good example. Now let me. Yeah, this looks nice. Now this is the example in front of you. This is your homework. This is something that I want you to do. A really nice question. It's very thorough. It's very nicely done. It looks good. Now, George commences a business. It's required to prepare journal entries. What will be the debit and credit? And then you want to take the journal entries and put them into ledger accounts. And then from the ledger, you make a trial balance. From the trial balance, you make a P&L. From the P&L, not from the P&L, you just prepare a P&L and balance sheet and statement of financial position, you know. Can we do that? I hope we can. Now, this is very nice. This question is really good. So just pause it here, just stop it, do it. Or if you're feeling too bothered about this, why don't you just email me and take the notes from me instead? I mean, whatever works for you, all right? Moving on. So this is the solution written over here. I'll write the answers and I'll let you guys know. I'll show you guys what the answers were. These are the journal entries. These are what all the T accounts, or in other words, we call them ledgers, and a lot of them actually. And then there's a trial balance, then there's a closing inventory journal, and then there's a P&L, there's a financial position, and then there's another example. Now this is awesome. This is Christmas. There you go. There's another question asking you to do exactly the same thing with different figures. Can we do that as well? Yes, we can. It's good. I mean, trust me with this. Debit the asset to increase them, credit the liability to decrease them. Now, if you do these two questions, I'm going to tell you, you are going to ace the exams so awesome. It's going to be awesome. I really want to say legendary. And then I thought of Barney from How I Met Your Mother. It's pretty cool. That show is pretty cool. I mean, if you're free, you don't want to work, you don't want to study, that's something I want you to watch. Here are the rest of the answers. Yeah, it's empty, I know, but well, what can you do? And there we have more questions. More questions. This is so good. This is so good. I'm excited. I want you guys to do these questions as well, and also this question. So we have 6 questions that I want you to do. So the next time I'll be seeing you, it's going to be about maybe 3 or 4 days later. I just don't want to, you know, shoves everything on your face and then say, oh, there you go, you have to do all these questions. No, wait. You know what? I'm going to give you a few extra days to study this. Go through this. If you don't understand it, you come to me. You make a mistake and you come to me. You show me what you did wrong, but I want you to do something. I want you to just attempt something. Put it on the paper. Slap something on the paper. Don't slap the paper. Put something on the paper and bring it to me. I'll be more than just happy to correct your mistakes. Are we good? These 3 questions, and then there is this question. Just pause it there for a while. Just see. It's very nice. It's just a closing capital of the company. So this isn't the full-fledged question of accounting, but this is something that you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, this minus this. Oh, okay, I got the answer. Closing capital. How do you calculate the closing capital? You take the opening, you press the profit, you minus the drawings, and then you get the closing. So something like that. You'll just take those figures wherever is relevant to you. It's a June 13 exam question. So just imagine how cool this is that you're doing. This is your first attempt to do a real life exam question. Now this is cool. This gives me goosebumps. Does it give it to you? No, I don't think so. But I'm excited. And so should you be. Having said that, I'm going to make it brief and short, so I'm just going to stop recording now and just say that it was a pleasure letting you guys know about these things, and I'm just going to stop here, and I'll see you guys on the next chapter. I can see over here it's called inventory. Is IS2, International Accounting Standard 2. It's a very small, it's a very brief, and it's really, really sweet. When you want to feel good about yourself, you study two chapters, two accounting standards. Number one is IS2, or inventory. Number two is IS16 PPE, property, plant, and equipment. These two topics are really one of the easiest topics you're ever going to find. Anyway, I've said enough, and I'm just going to stop talking, and I'm going to stop recording now. And I know it's short, but I'm pretty sure you guys will like it. There's a lot of work that you need to do back there at home, but I'll be more than just happy to check your answers. So thank you very much, guys, and I hope you have a good day.